everyone. Thank you for coming out during the Christmas season. And if we could, let's see who's in the audience this evening. I don't see Dave Jane. Um, it would be great if we could have one of our sheriffs this evening lead us into Pledge of Allegiance. That would be just incredible. Very much, staff. If we could get roll call of MAC members, please.
Perfect. Gary Grotius. Angela McLean. Stephanie Santoyo. Diane Mendez. Ana Paredes. And Teresa Scotto. Here. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a quorum this evening, so we'll get right to work. Our agency staff reports. Our first report would be from Supervisor Joe Baca Jr.'s office. And Jessica's here to present. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you, community members, for joining us, MAC members. My name is Jessica Andelon. I'm the Constituent Services Representative for Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. A couple of updates today. We did hear from SBCTA. I know it's been announced, but we also wanted to let the community know. The westbound IT off-ramp to Cedar Avenue will have some closures, and that'll begin on Friday, December 6th from 10 p.m. And ongoing through Monday, December 16th till 5 a.m. So it is a 10-day closure, but we do have a couple of alternative routes. So the option would be to continue westbound and exit Sierra and, turn right onto Sierra, turn right onto Valley, and continue onto Cedar Avenue. Or option 2 is exiting Riverside Avenue, turning right onto Riverside Avenue, and then turning left onto Valley Boulevard. So we'll work with our different agencies to make sure that mitigation is helpful, but we do appreciate anybody that can continue to spread that word that off-ramp is going to be closed for the next 10 days. So on other news, we do want to share, we hosted our commissioners dinner here tonight, so we do appreciate all our different commissioners that continue to be part of our different areas in our county and making sure that they are sharing the information with our constituents, also with our office. A special thank you to our 3 commissioners that are here, our Bloomington MAC members. So Teresa, Angela, and Gary, we greatly appreciate you guys for everything that you do and for being here tonight. So thank you, thank you. We do have our open house tomorrow. Supervisor will be hosting that at our Government Center building, and that's going to be taking place at 4:30. So please, everybody, join us. We do have the flyer on the back of the agenda, so please be sure to look at that. And we want to thank West Valley Water District. They will not be able to be in attendance, or they may or may not, but they did bring us some toys, and we are requesting that if you'd like to attend, please bring an unwrapped toy. Those will be going to, the toy distribution will be taking place within the communities. Those toys come back to our preschools, to any nonprofits that inquire on toys. So we do distribute those throughout the 5th district. So we appreciate you guys helping us collect those and bringing those tomorrow as we get together. So lastly, we will be sharing Kite Day information coming soon. I know we won't be meeting in January, but we'll meet in February. Kite Day normally takes place a little bit before we meet, so we'll be sure to share with you guys through our social medias, Bloomington Little League, the Olive Branch. You guys always do a great job at helping us share that information, and of course, special districts. So thank you, and if there's anything else you guys need, please let me know. Any questions?
Okay, thank you, Jessica. Any questions from the MAC or all good? Thank you. All right. Thank you, Jessica. Moving on to state legislative update. Do we have anyone here from either the assembly member or the state senator's office? Okay, seeing none, I will move along to the CHP, and we have Officer Sandoval with us this evening. Good evening.
Off? Why'd you turn it off, Jessica? Come on. Sandoval with the California Highway Patrol. Hopefully everybody had an amazing Thanksgiving. Thank you guys so much for being here. First and foremost, we just want to say thank you for all of you guys for being here. We truly appreciate it. This year is almost coming to an end, but without you guys, we wouldn't be here. With the California Highway Patrol, we continue patrolling the streets. We continue patrolling Gary's community with the big rigs. That's continued to be a problem, but we have our commercial guys that are continually enforcing in that area. One of the biggest things we want you to be aware of is, like I mentioned, every single month that we try to be here, is just be kind and considerate to the people around you. Please be patient. I know everybody's trying to go home, but sometimes we lose our minds. Just patient level, just we get angry or whatever it is. We just never know where we're going to exchange in. So please be cognizant of that. Most of these road rage incidents lead to car-to-car shootings, so we want to minimize that. Be aware, as I was driving here, it's just amazing how many people we see texting and driving, aware and cognizant that at the moment that you're saying that you're going to take this call, you're potentially saying that you're willing to kill somebody. And that's like the harsh truth, right? You're saying, hey, I'm okay with taking someone else's life for this call. So when you bring awareness to that, just be aware that, hey, no life is worth a phone call or a text. We continue to be supportive to the 5th District, to Joe Baca Jr.'s office. Anything they may need, anything we get from our constituents. We just recently got some complaints about as far as transients on Cedar and Valley. So we're going to try to address those concerns. Again, let me just get you the non-emergency number. If you guys want to jot this number down, it's 909 428 5400. So if you see something out of the ordinary that's not an emergency, if it's an emergency, if you see a drunk driver or whatever it may be, call 911. And if you don't know if it's emergency or not, call 911 and we'll determine whether it's an emergency or not, and we'll go from there. Like I said, we have resources that will go out there. They'll get to it as soon as possible, and then we're here to fulfill the needs of the community. But whatever it is, like I said, Gary has my direct number. We try to respond as quick as possible to anything. And then just to take it a step further, I'll give my direct number, my state number. Let me just find it for you. It's a 916 634 9627, and that's my state cell phone number. Like I said, if anything, you guys have any concerns, Gary, you have my personal number, but if you guys, anybody needs to contact us regarding any incident, please feel free to reach out. Again, like I said, we truly thank you guys for your continuous support. Please be aware, like, hey, no drinking and driving. If you drink, don't drive. And if you drive, just like I said, don't drink. But continue being aware of what's going on around you. Like I said, there's a lot of traffic in the area. We have a hazmat situation right now on the 10, right before the 215. So it requires a little bit of patience. Other than that, thank you guys so much. Any questions? Yes.
I'm not sure if it is CHP because it is in the street or not, but recently, again, on our Bloomington pages, there's a great concern on San Bernardino Road and Cedar with the vendors that are set up there, that they are taking up a actual lane,
Okay.
a right turn lane. It's been a continuous problem we're having there. One of the concerns was not only were they taking up the lane, but they were throwing grease into the street.
Wow.
And a car slid because of the grease in the street, is what it said on our page. So I don't know if that's something you can go look into. I don't really know what can be done or anything
My
like
partner
that.
in the corner, Moises, he's going to do a great job. Like I said, we all worked extremely tight-knit community with the law enforcement, all first responders, with every resource that we have. And we pretty much work with county supervisor's office regarding Bloomington and Musqueam every quarter. So if there's any concerns, I'm sure we're going to hear about it, and we're going to try to do something to mitigate that as soon as possible. Like I said, it's a continuous issue, right? We follow it to wherever it is. It sounds like this is a new location for these people, and I'm sure that's where we're going to go to next.
Just a couple of weeks ago that you had they had a DUI checkpoint in the morning on Cedar and Randall. I thought that was great.
So I actually was there.
I saw you there. I was going
so-
to turn around.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that is actually, it wasn't a checkpoint. It's the Bureau of Automotive Repair,
Okay.
and they do an air study. But it sure brings a lot of notoriety because prior to that evening, we had that crash on Riverside in the Rialto area where we lost that 3 and 4-year-old.
Yes.
So like I said, it happens all the time. But yeah, a lot of people were noticing that. And that brings me to another topic. We just got funding from the Office of Traffic Safety. So not right now, but probably in the third quarter, we will have a DUI checkpoint in your community. The one that we're going to have this next week, it's on December 13th. That's going to be slated for Muscoy. But in the third quarter, we have some funding to do one in your community. So that'll be
Great.
sometime in August.
Great.
Okay.
What is that air check? What is that?
It's a Bureau of Automotive Repair. Just they plug in the little apparatus that they have, and it tells you if you have any issues with your vehicle. If there's it's pretty cool. You know, for people that don't ever check their cars, it depend on technology quite a bit. So they'll give you like a little printout of what's wrong with your car. Maybe it's doing a sensor, or maybe it's something with your gas cap. It's something small that it's like I said, it's nothing punitive. It's just, hey, here's some information, gather it, and just go. It's a survey for the state of California, so it's pretty cool. But if we can get it as a DUI checkpoint, we'll dub it that way, right? Because it see a lot of people in this community, and I did it in San Bernardino. Turns people away, the opposite, so it scares people away. But like I said, we're here to help. Hopefully, when you see those red and blue lights, you don't think like, I did something wrong, rather than like, hey, that officer noticed something that was probably a danger to myself or others, and they just want to keep us safe. So hopefully, we can change that perspective. Sir?
Before you get away, I just want to give you some props. The folks on off of Cactus and Santa Ana really appreciate the fact that CHP responded to the need for enforcement for big rig trucks that run up and down illegally on Cactus, and they've let me know that they're very appreciative, as am I. And also something the Officer Sandoval said earlier, and he did give me his personal cell phone number, and I've used it a couple times, and he is super responsive. So, you know, when you guys see something, as he mentioned, don't be afraid to bring something forward. And, you know, it's also, I noticed last weekend on another note, they had a full enforcement on Riverside Avenue off the interchange there. And I did talk to a couple CHP officers that had actually 2 cars pulled over at the gas station on Riverside and Valley. And the driving that's going on both Cedar and Riverside Avenue at the interchanges is just absolutely out of control, crazy. So I'm really glad to see the CHP monitoring that and doing what they can to curb all the crazy stuff that goes on and it's dangerous, you know.
We're working diligently, like concerns up. He's partnered up with Vega. Colton has concern to them as well because they're concerned for their employees. So we're working together to bring some to bring awareness, first education and awareness to the community of the things that we're doing. But like I said, I truly take this extremely seriously. Then I'm going to try to go get some commercial training next year, third quarter, so that I can enforce a little bit more diligently as well. Because there's a federal book like this big that you can just make stops on these big rigs, and it's a phenomenal tool that we can utilize to keep our community safe. So anything to do to help. What else? Anything else from the community? Okay. Thanks, Pam. Appreciate you.
Okay, Officer Sandoval, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Next up is code enforcement.
Lord, that's Bloomington Code Enforcement Officer. Just to give some information on code enforcement and our services. Friends in your community, if you're seeing any junk and trash or land use violations, unpermitted construction, we want to know about it. You can let us know. You can come to our office. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can call. Uh, 919 056 Early Lane in San Bernardino. You can no spaces. Um, also pick up any the call. We'll go pick it up. Anybody dumping tires? And we have last time. We've been working at the Dollar Tree to get the dump out there. So to leave, the property better of it, make sure it's okay. But it's going to be a helpful deterrent to keep people from going there, trash and things like that. Too, and just be mentioned around the local park down with. We're out there. And I also, newest code officer, this is Edwin Parra. He is a senior code enforcement officer. Not assigned currently to Bloomington, but going to make sure he's familiar with it in case he ever needs to speak.
So first of all, thank you for the Dollar Tree because it does look like 900 times better. So we appreciate you guys, and you guys acted so fast on that. So after our previous MAC meeting, I actually went on our Bloomington page and kind of gave the community an update about things that we talked about here. And in that, the Dollar Tree, one of the tenants, I guess you can call her, was on the page, and she chimed in stating that the reason why they are there and not taking resources is because there's about 20, I think she said 20 of them, and they have pets. And she said because the services offered do not have any kind of assistance for their pets, they won't leave and they won't get any help and they want to go together. I don't know if there's anything you guys can look into as far as that, but I thought I would bring it up because I don't know if maybe it was even explained to you guys or the Hope team or whomever when they were out there. They did say they are still there. They're just tucked away back behind the recycling unit out of visibility. I haven't seen that yet because I haven't been over there, but I did drive by after everything, and seen that it was really nicely kept and everything. But one of the ladies was actually on our Bloomington page stating that. So, obviously we don't want to see anybody on the street that doesn't need to be if there's resources. But I understand, we understand the bond they must have with their animals too. That's what they have. That's all they have, So I don't know if there's anything we can look into, or maybe we could even talk to rescues about holding them until they can get into a place or something. I mean, maybe we could all work together in trying to figure out a solution for that.
Yeah,
But
I'll look into that and see what else I could find out. Like, whenever we do encounter the unhoused, we always do offer services and numbers they can call. If we can add resources that would help with animals,
okay.
we could do that pretty.
Okay.
We just got to look into it, and we'll get it
Okay.
done. Okay?
Well, thank you. And thank you for everything, because it looks beautiful.
Absolutely.
I do appreciate the more visibility that you guys do have around Kessler, especially the project that is on hold across the street, because there is so many people dumping now that they know that nobody's there.
Yeah.
We've seen so many tires and mattresses, paint, you name it. Especially, they tend to go to that corner of Harupa and Linden, I guess because there's really nothing right there on that end. I'm sorry, Maple and Harupa. That corner, there's a lot of stuff. You guys went and cleaned it up, and I'm not kidding you, like 2 days later, there was a whole bunch of stuff there already again.
Yeah.
And then with the school district, I know Angela had mentioned she saw going up. So the project across the street from us kept getting their fencing stolen with their panels. So they are now putting chain link. So that might be something they might want to look
Okay.
into, so that they're not having to constantly try to replace panels, because we've been there and we've seen people literally, like, they don't care in the light of day, pulling out everything. So
Yeah, we actually, it wasn't me, it was another one. We came across some of the stolen. Called the deputies and worked with. Yeah.
I had a resident contact me just before the meeting. She lives on the north side of the freeway, and she wanted me to bring it to your attention that there's a substantial amount of homeless in the canal area, and now that the weather's cooling off, a lot of fires being lit in that particular area. We have some pretty dry eucalyptus trees, she mentioned, and she's concerned about a fire getting out of control in her neighborhood. So if we could look into that. I don't know if that's a part of the Hope Team operation or it goes with you guys, sheriff's combination probably, but and it may even fall under Caltrans with the CHP as well, because it's right along the north side of the freeway.
Okay. Yeah, we work with all of them. I do have a contact with Caltrans that as well.
Okay. Also, and I had asked previously, and if we could after the first year, if we could get some statistics from you guys on what type of cases you have, and open cases, what types of cases, and it would be helpful for the community to know what you guys are doing out there and what the hot issues are.
Yeah, absolutely. I did bring that up to my management.
Okay, that'd be appreciated.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Thank
All
you,
right.
everyone.
Thank you very much. Okay, next up, we have Gold Dray Unified School District. I don't see Board Member Fuentes here this evening. So with that, we'll move along to County Fire. We have a representative from County Fire here this evening. Okay, not seeing one. We'll move on to our Sheriff's Department.
I am Sergeant Parrish with the Sheriff's Department, and I got Deputy Louis Arroyo here. He's a Bloomington deputy that's assigned to the Bloomington area during the week. So we have some stats just for the Bloomington area that we did just this last month for the month of November that we've the deputies have handled 1,184 calls for service. They conduct pet checks primarily, mostly on the transients and stuff that are out there for all the nefarious things that they're doing, their drug use and things like that. We've arrested 49 of people that we've contacted out there. We've had some violent crimes. I don't know if you heard that we had a homicide out off of 9th Street at the beginning of the month. That was a family dispute type thing. So that suspect's in custody, and our homicide division had taken over the investigation and handling that. But for the most part, with the Dollar Tree and the dumpsters and stuff, part of our issue that we had initially was to find out who that actually belonged to on the property and stuff. So since then, we have a no trespass order signed by the property owner, and that's part of it too. Is that when we go over there, if they don't have a reason to be there, then they go to jail, and that's one of the ways that we're combating that. We have our Hope team that go out there and provide resources and things. We've dealt with the lady with the animals. She has a couple dogs and chickens and things like that. So, we've gave her a lot of allowances and not towing her car because it wasn't registered and trying to get her resources, but it's a lot of pushback and then excuses in the end. So, you got anything?
Hello guys, Luis Arroyo. So I've only been a Bloomington deputy for 3-4 weeks. I'm doing my rounds. I'm going to all the businesses around Cedar and Valley, introducing myself, put a face for all you guys that have questions. I know there's a biz concept that I was talking to Fabiola earlier today. She was claiming that we don't show up to calls for service, and I just wanted to make it perfectly clear. All the deputies do show up to the calls, but sometimes we're just call to call, and we don't have the ability sometimes to call you guys. So I already talked to some of my partners, our sergeants, our lieutenants, to be more mindful of reaching out to the reporting parties and just kind of give them a breakdown of what happened, what we ended up doing, either if it's an arrest or if that subject's not in that location or in that area. So we're going to work a little bit better just to communicate with you guys. That way we're transparent with you guys. Yeah, I'm going to do my rounds. If I haven't gotten to your business yet, I am. So just be patient with me. Just slowly but surely, I'll be introducing myself.
Because I'm not exactly sure how this works with being under Fontana's hub or whatever, but if I make a phone call and it's directed to like the police department, they send me a text message telling me this. Is there anything that works for that for the Bloomington community?
That would be through the sheriff's department or dispatch, and I don't know of anything like that
Okay.
that they have in the works for those
For
types of
Bloomington.
things.
Okay.
When you do make a call for service, the call is issued a incident number. Every call is documented that way, and it's memorialized and stored forever. It's there. So there's a whatever happened in the call, the deputies would dispo it. If they arrested somebody, if they went and contacted, talked to people, and then they resolved the situation, then it'll all be documented in the call.
Okay. I was just wondering because it was actually a really nice feature. We had somebody that was looking into cars on our block, and I called just asking to see if someone would swing by and check it out. And right as soon as I hung up the phone, it sent me a text message telling me this was the incident number. And then like 2-3 hours later, I got a thing like with a follow-up, like, you want to follow up? You can call this number, or and then it sent me a survey too. I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. So I didn't know if that's just like countywide or it's just directed with whichever city or agency.
Each individual city has their own
Gotcha. Okay.
way they do things. And that sounds like a pretty good program.
Yeah, it was kind of nice.
Yeah.
I was like, well,
We'll have to talk to somebody about that. See what we can do.
yeah. It's nice only because if you're a resident, you're not, sometimes when you make that call, they don't give you an incident number, you're just like, they're like, oh, okay, we'll send someone out. And I understand because in the past previously, this is why it was so hard for us to let go of our, because we had such a negative thing with the sheriff department previously from the community, because people would say, nobody shows up, I call, hours go by, I never know what's going on. And we understand we don't have the resources here in Bloomington like Fontana or Rialto do. Until like the recent years, we know we finally got a deputy and we were like, "Ooh, this is great." And I think everyone was under the misconception that that person was only going to be in Bloomington, not that they go out to other areas when needed. So people were like, "I never see the Bloomington car. Where is it?" And, you know, so it was a long, hard process to get everybody acclimated to the new sheriffs and like, hey, you know, they were coming to all our events and, you know, you had a problem or a question and you couldn't come to a MAC meeting, you know, you come to National Night Out or you come to, what's it called? Trunk or treat or whatever, you know, like, oh, I know the sheriff's going to be there. I'm going to go talk to them, you know? So it was nice to have them in the community all the time because they had that. And it did away with a lot of that negativity because now people were building a relationship. Now they were like, okay, if I don't have a problem, if I have a problem, I know I can go and talk to them here, 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 here. You know what I mean? I don't know why people don't feel apt to pick up a phone and just call, but that's just kind of the way
Yeah.
it's been sometimes.
And he's going to be doing the same exact thing, and he's going to build that rapport, and just like the last deputy did. And nothing's going to change in that aspect. We're still going to be doing all the stuff that they did before.
Oh, no, and we
I'll
love
be
it.
there
And
too. Yeah.
Angela's seen in her cameras that they're actually going out there at Kessler's, signing the lights in. So we were like so appreciative of the extra
They're
steps they're
doing extra
taking.
foot patrols,
Yeah.
and then we put up other cameras up there, and I have on my personal phone and monitor that stuff. So it's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. But yeah, maybe if you can look into it. I mean, I know we may not have the funding, but maybe it's something we can work towards. Okay. Yeah, because just as a regular resident, let's say I made a call and I'm like, I made the call and I didn't get the incident number and I call back and I'm like, well, I called like 2 hours ago and I don't know if somebody who I'm supposed to contact, what the chain is. So I'm just thinking like, if I got that text message, I could be like, oh yeah, I called and it was incident number, blah, 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 blah. Can you look into it? I think that would just me as a resident will make me feel better. You know?
Oh yeah.
So thank you. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, for everything.
Questions from the audience? Okay, seeing none. Sheriffs, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. Be safe out there. Have a great holiday. Okay, next up is Special Districts. Aaron Spear. Good evening, sir.
I'd like to lead with a big thank you to the Sheriff's Department. They were out quite promptly a few weeks ago installing cameras in the corridor of our park in the meantime while we got ours. So it's been fantastic. I can't say thank you enough. Same with the code enforcement. We get graffitied a lot. I don't know why it goes and seems like it comes in bunches. But it's happened a lot recently, and they've been out there with their team and they're professional guys, and they get out there and get after it pretty quick. So we really appreciate their assistance here because we have pretty parks and they're not so pretty when they get vandalized. So we appreciate that. The segue to that is we will be special districts in the Public Works Department will be installing 8 new cameras within the corridor tomorrow at Kessler Park. So it's a huge win for those areas. So we should be able to see what's happening and help the sheriff out with recourse and hopefully it keeps as a deterrent moving forward. So that's good news. On a much brighter note, this Saturday, we will have our annual toy drive softball tournament where we have 5 teams that will be competing this Saturday, and they will all be bringing toys. So we should have in the neighborhood of over 75 toys plus given on Saturday. So we're super excited about that. You don't have to play in the tournament. If you just want to come down and watch or hang out, we'll have music going and there'll be some softball being played. But if you just want to bring a toy, all the toys will be donated to Supervisor Baca's toy drive. So we have in our lobby right now, we have big 5-foot boxes that are going to be filled, and then they'll be taken to his office to go to where they're supposed to be. So we're proud of that and pretty excited, and it should be a great Saturday. It's going to be warm, and the Bloomington Little League will also have their snack bar open, which we're super excited about, and so are the teams. I've been bragging about it all week.
Thank you.
About the fries. And then lastly, I can't believe 2024 is coming to an end, but our last event of the year is on December 19th, right here at Ayala Park. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's going to come in on the big red fire truck. We have a dance performance by our dance team here in all their classes right here at 5. We have a tree lighting. The Girl Scouts will be here selling or giving hot chocolate, a little bit of both, I think. So, and then we'll be doing Santa photos with our one of the amazing photographers we have here, Alexander Photography. He does a great job, and he'll be there to capture those precious moments with Santa and the little ones. So if you have little ones, or if you want to come tell Santa what you want for Christmas, we'd love for you to come down. So that's all I got. And when we come back in February, we will have the new brochure, which will have all the 2025 event info, as well as how to get a hold of, your community partners such as code enforcement, the sheriff, all that stuff. So, regional parks.
Questions for Aaron?
No, just thank you to you and your staff for everything. We appreciate you guys. You guys work real hard at trying to keep everything nice and beautiful, and we do really appreciate it.
Awesome. I should share this. The supervisor was really awesome to get us 2 full-time maintenance workers, and it's fantastic. But we're getting to experience the value in that in real time right now, because this is really the first week where we're at complete full staff. So everybody that works here at the Park District, this is probably the first week where all spots are full. So it's good.
That's good. Good to hear.
Aaron,
Thank you.
On the softball tournament, so what does the winning softball team get?
They get to
Other
put their
than
hands
Santa-
up and go, yeah. We keep it fun. For whatever reason, if you put a shirt or a trophy out there, things can go sideways. So we
You guys going to say the park team?
I
That'll help.
I will accept, and I will gladly advertise that. And well, I'll call you. We'll talk about that. I'd love that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll get
Thank you.
on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Is West Valley Water. We're honored to have 2 board members here this evening. Our President Greg Young, Bloomington resident, and also Dan Jenkins, who represents the area. And welcome.
Is there a preference on this one? Here, you get one, I get one.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just wanted to just stop by real quick and just kind of wish everyone a happy and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We do have some holiday closures again this month, so the district offices will be closed from December 23rd through the 25th, and then from the 30th through the 1st of January. We will be open other days, so wanted to make that aware. And then also we do have our annual calendars, so we did present the awards at the last meeting, and so they are in production, so we hope to have calendars for everybody probably by the middle of the month. So we'll make sure that we all get some. And anyone who would like any, just feel free to reach out to us. So, happy to answer any questions if anyone have it. Merry Christmas.
Questions from the MAC? No?
I just want to say thank you for always supporting our community events, providing water for all of our events, and always showing up to the meetings and giving us updates. So thank you, and Merry Christmas to all you guys.
Thank you.
My understanding, they're not being connected to the hospital. Is that like something that you're all going to advise the community on, where they're going to do that, how you connect your homes to that, or is that anything that you guys want to know?
West Valley Water District just provides drinking water. We Toronto. So they're the ones who actually have the sewer service. So anyone who would want to hook up would have to work with them on that process. But yeah, we only provide drinking water. We don't handle it on that.
Right, drinking water, you mean it comes up to faucet?
Yes. Yeah. Would love to be a part of that business, but we just were never an agency that did wastewater. So the city is the one who has the sewer lines, and they do have quite a few that run down Slover, Santa Ana, several of the streets, and some portions of Bloomington are hooked up to them, but it's a very haphazard situation. But I'm sure that if you reach out to them,
And Joaquin's question. So, but you hook up to it. It's at the resident's expense. But what it does do when you have sewer in an area, it enables on higher density housing. The state is mandated or in the county up with what they call a arena number, which is a number of housing units that they are requiring to be built within, I believe, by 2030. And so that's really the main purpose of the sewer, and that comes in with development as areas are being developed where required to be done. So it's available to not only our residents but to future development in the community, residential mainly. So okay, all right, okay. Thank you very much. Okay, that concludes our agency staff reports. We're going to move on to our informational presentation this evening. Bloomington Roadwork Improvement Project. Bob Bizzuto. Mr. Bizzuto, good evening. Welcome back. You've gotten to be quite an annual monthly function. Yes.
Monthly function. Yeah. I'm here for the roadwork project. That's the Bloomington area between Locust and Armstrong, south of Europa. One of the things you mentioned was the dumping on Europa and Armstrong and Locust. We just, so you know, we've had our trucks clean up a lot of that over the time we've been on the project. So there's been a lot of dumping going on. I know we've had on several occasions cleaned up a lot of that dumping ourselves. I'm sure the county and the city has as well, but I know that's been an issue. As far as Locust, it's still closed. It's going to remain closed until probably April. Then when that opens, it's going to be 4 lanes and with 3 traffic lights, one at Europa, one at 7th, and one at 11th. And then after Europa closes, then we go down to close Armstrong, and then kind of be similar. There'll be a traffic rerouting. That'll also be 4 lanes all the way down to where the homes start, where that becomes a 4-lane road. So that'll all be like a contiguous 4-lane road with lights. Linden, we plan on, it's just a partial closure from 7th going down to Santa Ana. That's, you mentioned a sewer line, that's for a sewer line. That won't happen until probably April. And I know in Linden, we go past the school and we talk to the school all the time. So whenever we decide to do that work around the school, we'll make sure we coordinate with the school. It might be on their week off, it might be on the weekends, but we don't intend to impact that school at all. Then the last item is going down 11th Street. There's going to be a partial closure. We did some work on 11th Street, but it was closed for a while. Now it's been reopened since, I believe, July. But we're going to have to close it one more time to continue that work, and that's going to be probably around March, April as well. So that's the latest. Hasn't changed much. Pretty much on schedule. Hopefully we get the permits we need to continue and meet these schedules, but we should be there. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Yeah, when it opens in April, it's going to have trail already built out? Or is it-
Well, there's one issue. There's a lot going on there, and it's going to be open, but there's right now where the telephone poles are along the west side. That's going to be where those poles are is actually the middle of the road now. And so Edison takes a long time. And so we're going to have, that's really where the middle lane is. It's really 5 lanes with the turn lane in the middle. So those poles actually for a little while are going to be in the turn lane in the middle, and we'll have K-rails around them and everything. So to answer your question, it's going to be as done as we can get it done. But until Edison comes towards the end of the job to move their poles, then it'll be 100%. But so I don't know about the trail actually being there. I think it will be, to the most part, but there's going to be a couple of issues there because of Southern California Edison. They have a big job to move a lot of poles and do some stuff. Sure.
A lot of folks are concerned about 11th Street becoming a truck route because just the way it's set up. Is there any way that,
It won't be.
is there any way that it's being built in which trucks are not going to be able to turn?
Yes. It's my understanding. Yes, that's the case. There's not going to be any trucks going down into those neighborhoods. They're all those streets are designed so trucks can't go down there. Yes.
Yeah, Ms. Pizzuto, could you, you had mentioned in the PowerPoint that you can visit us on our website. Could you give the residents that information?
Yeah, it's up there. It was up there. If you want to put it back up, it's on our last slide. And I think we have it also all the way around the site. I believe it's there as well on signs. It's the last slide. The second to last slide. There you go. Info at bloomingtonroadworks.com. And Mackenzie,
Yeah, hopefully you
do
can
you
see
update
that.
that all the time? Yeah. So there's regular updates on there all the time. If you can check us out there.
Okay, so we have an email address, phone number, and a website listed.
Yeah,
Thank you.
everything's on there.
Okay, very good.
All righty. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you, Ms. Pizzuto. All right, moving along, our next item is approval of minutes from our November 6, 2024 meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
A promotion.
Okay, I have a motion, a second.
Second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Okay, moving along, we're going to go to public comment. And our first public comment this evening is Miguel Munoz. Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening. Which one is it? Is this one? All right. Hi. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Hi, my name is Miguel Munoz Valtierra. I just wanted to make a comment about, it's just a concern, I suppose. I've been talking to some neighbors, and I was wondering why I know it's just not an answer that you can provide, but I noticed, because I went to the last meeting for the Bloomington Business Park project, and I was just catching up on the information, and they told us that they only provided information for that meeting and for upcoming meetings to a 3,000 or 1,300 foot radius of neighbors.